Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to call the search task API in the Angular. So let's get started. You can see here the dashboard page. On the top of this page, I'm going to add here the input for the title. Let's navigate to the VS Code and you can see here the dashboard component for the admin. On the top, I'm going to add here the form tag. You can see here the form tag with the class search form. Inside this, we have an input to get the title of the task. You can see here the tag for the mat form field where we have a mat label with the caption enter keyword to search. And after this, we have an input. Let's go to dashboard component.scss and here I'm going to add the styling properties for the search form. As you can see, the styling properties for the search form. Let's save this. Let's go to UI and you can see here the input for the title. Let's go back to the VS Code. After this, I'm going to create a search reactive form. So let's go to dashboard component.ts. Let me initialize here the variable with the name search form. We are initializing this variable with the form group. After initializing the form, I'm going to inject the form builder inside the constructor. So it will be a private FB, that is the instance of the form builder. And we have to add here the form builder. After this, I'm going to call here the variable that is a search form, and we have to initialize the reactive form with the fp dot group. Inside this, I'm going to define here the form controls. So we have only one input, that is a title, that is by default null. It will be a colon instead of equal. Let me copy the variable name. Let's go to dashboard component.html and I'm going to bind the form tag with the ts. So we have to add here the property that is a form group. Let me give here the name that is a search form. After this, we have to bind the input tag. Let me copy the form control that is the title and we have to add here the property that is a form control name. After this, I'm going to add here the event that is a input, where we have to call the method from the TS that is a search task. This method will trigger when the admin press any button. Let me copy the method name. Let's go to dashboard component.ts and here I'm going to create this method. Inside this, I'm going to initialize here a variable that is a form's title and we have to store the value of the title that we are getting from the search form. So it will be at this dot search form dot get. Inside the quotes, I'm going to define here the form control that is a title and it will be a dot value. Let me add here the console dot log to print the title in the console. Let's navigate to the browser. Let me open here the inspect and I'm going to enter here the title like a report. As you can see, we are getting here the result from the search form. Now we have to call the endpoint from the Spring Boot application. So let's go to admin service. Let me duplicate this method. Name of the method that is a search task. Inside the argument, it will get a title that is a type of a string. Let me remove this. Mapping, it will be a get and we have to pass here the title that we are getting in the argument of the method. Let me update the URL of our search task API, that is a api/admin/task/search/title. Let's go back to the dashboard component.ts. Inside this, I'm going to call the method from the admin service that is a search task. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here the title. Let's subscribe this, save the response into this variable that is a res. And here I'm going to add the console.log to print the result into the console. After this, I'm going to call here the array to assign the response into this and it will be a res. Before calling the API, we have to make this empty. So let me assign here an empty array. Let's navigate to the browser. Let me write here the title. As you can see, we are getting here the result with the task. Let me write here the project. As you can see, we are getting here the result from the database based on the search query. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can do comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.